Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK Journey video. In this video I wanted to make a priority tier list for refining charms because at the next reset we're going to have all the Dura Trials floors unlocked and that will allow us to refine our charms to the V double plus tier, which is the final basically tier of refinement. And of course we have limited resources in order to do this, so you want to make sure you are upgrading the heroes which are going to give you the most return by getting their upgrades. Okay, so we have divided it into three categories. Dream Realm for DR, RR is Ravaged Realm, and then AFK for AFK stages. And the key heroes you want to upgrade are not just any hero you use in these areas, but the damage dealers, because these upgrades are going to increase the attack slightly of these heroes, allowing you to overall get a higher damage score. So let's go ahead and begin with Dream Realm. So for Dream Realm, the hardest hitting damage dealers used in the most top meta teams: Shamira, Baelran, Ludovic, Pandora, Harak if you have him, and Damon. These are really some of the hard-hitting damage dealers you're going to see in multiple top Dream Realm boss teams. Harak only in one, but by a big margin. And also Harak is big for Ravaged Realm, and that's why he is going to be up here on the higher end of the priority, because I have ordered it with the left side being the highest priority all the way down to the lower right, which will be the lowest priority for each of the tiers. Okay, so all of these heroes are going to be really important. Now, as for their optimal charms, the optimal charms for all of these heroes is basically already set in stone. Harak, it could be balanced or butcher. But generally speaking, honestly, it does seem like balanced charms are the way to go for Harak, at least for Ravaged Realm. Those are the best option as of right now. And so those are the ones I would recommend refining if you have to choose between the two. Smokey as well, he hits really hard in some Dream Realm bosses. Ravaged Realm as well, he's going to he does a lot of damage contribution. So getting his charms refined, whether it be sorcery or recovering, that's going to be really important. And yeah, refine it to the maximum. Valara, the thing about Valara is her charms being refined is important because that will increase her stat scale buff that she provides to your allies and everyone on the team. The problem though is that we don't know for each different thing that we fight. Sometimes a different charm set is best for Valara. Some bosses sorcery are best, some bosses mystic are best, some bosses blast are best. So that's kind of the issue with Valara. Now, personally, what I did, I refined the blast charms, but for that second refining tier, I don't know. I'll probably maybe just save it for Ravaged Realm, but I'm basically not going to make her a major priority for a refined to that final tier. Feresto, again, he's a hero which, of course, if you boost him up, he's going to do a bit more damage in whatever team he's in the top in. For Ravaged Realm, he is in the team. However, he's mainly just food for Harak. So honestly, you don't need to refine. That's why these heroes are lower down on this priority for the Dream Realm tier. Sinbad, Sonya, so they're best in one Dream Realm, Elucia, Dream Realm boss. And for Ravaged Realm, Sinbad is not even that dominant, but Sonya is going to be in a top team. So getting both of their charms refined to the higher tier could be useful, and I would pick for Sinbad whatever charm like sorcery or balanced. Sorcery is really considered probably the best or balanced for Elucia, so I would pick one of those to refine. Shakir is for Nocturne Judicator. If you refine him, he would do a bit of bonus damage. For the Ravaged Realm, he's probably going to be on Mystic Charms. So the thing is, right, you'll have to decide. We'll have to wait and see. Don't probably refine Shakir right now. He's one of the lower priorities, as you see here. But eventually, just to min-max your damage, Shakir is going to contribute a decent amount of damage, whether it be for Nocturne Judicator Dream Realm or whether it be for Ravaged Realm. And so you will then maybe want to also think about max refining his charms. Hugin, you can pretty safely max refine Hugin's Blast Charms, because they're going to increase his damage output for Ravaged Realm. For Dream Realm, he is used in the best Ravaged Realm team and in Dream Realm, and you want Blast Charms on him for both. So refining those is basically a safe bet. Cryanaya, she's used in the top Plague Creeper team for people who have her. Other than that, it's just PvP really. Ravaged Realm, as of right now, not in any top team. Maybe with more testing, who knows? But yeah, right now it's not really, other than that one Dream Realm boss, but Butcher Charms are considered the best for her, so you could refine them. And then we have Kruger, Mystic Charms for Nocturne Judicator. Probably in Ravaged Realm, he is in the top team, and he does some decent damage output, so refining those with his Mystic Charms probably would be good. And then Twins finally, so Twins are a hero which they hardly contribute any damage, so refining their charms isn't going to change much. But for whatever reason, when I refined my Twins charms the first time, it somehow allowed me to more consistently get good scores, even though before refining, it wasn't they were not dying. They didn't need the refinement to really change anything. I don't know why anything changed, but it just seemed maybe it was just coincidence. But yeah, they're the lowest priority basically to refine because they do not contribute any meaningful damage. So by refining their charms, it doesn't really change much because they're surviving already. They're not contributing much damage. So what's really the point? Okay, now moving on to Ravaged Realm. Now, the heroes here are going to be the top damages for Ravaged Realm so far from the testing done on the VN server. It isn't including, it's not all encompassing every single Ravaged Realm hero. That's not all the heroes I put here. I put the heroes who are in Ravaged Realm, in the top teams almost, or second best, and also the top damage contributors, because those are the heroes you want to refine those charms and upgrade them, because it's going to boost your score. So definitely Atalanta. Now, the problem is, there's still testing going on the VN server. Is Butcher charms better for Atalanta or Overloaded? For the Crystal Crawler Primal Lord, it did seem like Overloaded were the best. But for this one, there's still some debate, and that will need some time to clear up. So do not refine your charms right now. Wait for some testing to happen, even with the global server. And then later on, towards the end of Ravaged Realm, yes, do refine your charms, whichever one it may be, Butcher or Overloaded. We don't know about that. Lily May, sorcery charms are the best. She contributes high damage output in the Sylvan squad. Get her charms refined, max refined. Granny, we don't know the best charm set for her. The speculation is Blast because it gives her ultimate power and also attack power to boost her damage. Because her HP loss damage is scaling on her own attack. But we're not entirely sure about it right now. But we can wait for that. But eventually, you would want to consider refining them. Because she is an HP loss damage dealer for the Ravaged Realm. Velka. Velka is going to be a key damage dealer for the Greyborn, Mortal Squad for team number 2. And so getting her charms, eventually refining them, would be a decent priority. Arcane charms are considered the best for her. Zany, Gale charms, and she is on a team 2 of Aurora squad right now. Now, like I mentioned in my video I just uploaded before this, there are replacements for Zany. Zany is not a must-have, but if you are using Zany, you should definitely probably refine her charms because she's a key damage dealer for you in the second team of Aurora squad. Walker as well, key damage dealer for second team of Aurora squad. Butcher charms are theorized to be the best for him, and also, yeah, you'll want to refine them. Odie. So Odie is a good damage dealer, a pretty high damage dealer for the Dauntless squad, team number 2, and everyone basically has Odie built up. Now, it is between Gale or Insight charms onto Odie. We don't know which is better yet. More testing will have to be done, but then you'll want to pick one of them and refine them. We have Pang and Indris and Lenya. These are the 3 bruiser damages for Civilian Squad, but you're only going to run one of them on your team. They're not, like, if you have all 3 built, you only pick Pang. Pang is number 1. If you don't have Pang, you pick Indris. If you don't have Indris, you pick Lenya. Basically, the other slots are already filled in the team, in the 2 teams. So, like, you just have one slot for a bruiser damage dealer, and it's one of these 3 in that order I mentioned. So if you have Pang built, as of right now, he would be your number 1 refining priority because he's going to be in the top team. If you have Indris, it would be Indris. If you have Lenya, it would be Lenya. So Pang and Lenya should be Butcher charms. That's the recommended one. And Indris should be Ruthless charms. This is from the basic day 1 testing which has happened. Let's see. Maybe something will change. Seth is a decent damage dealer for the Dauntless squad team number 2 in the overall top meta team. So getting his charms refined, it would boost his damage output. Now, we don't know what is the best charm set for him. I think a lot more testing has to happen before we can lock it down. However, in the past, basically, he has a lot of good damage sets. He has Acute, Ruthless, Arcane, Mystic. He has all 4 available to him. And usually in the past, they all do somewhat around the same. And I would expect that to be here now. Zandrok. So Zandrok, if you have Zandrok built, we don't know if he works at 1 copy or is the best option at 1 copy. And also, he only kind of is working in a Baelran team. I don't know. There wasn't testing of Zandrok without a Baelran team. But either way, if you have Baelran, if you have Zandrok, then Zandrok does a decent amount of damage, like 1 trillion or so damage for the Dauntless squad team number 1. So if you could upgrade his charms, it would boost his damage a bit. It gives him some health. He has health scaling damage, basically. But Zandrok is not a major priority. So, like, you do not need to refine Zandrok's charms. If he's working on 1 copy, you probably don't even need to bother. Find the charms, just give him a good charm set that gives him some health. That's basically all you would want. I think Insight charms are recommended for him. Okay, Mikola. So, of course, these heroes, like Mikola's arcane charms are going to be really important. But we're not talking about, like, which charms are the most important and that sort of priority list. We're talking about whose refinement of their charms is the most important. And Mikola, honestly, she doesn't contribute that much damage, especially for a Ravaged Realm boss who's going to be, like, endless style Ravaged Realm. Like, basically, unless you have true damage or HP loss damage, you're hardly going to be putting a dent into this boss, and so that's why Mikola is hardly going to deal much damage. That's why her charms refining is not very important. And then we have Bonnie, Merrily, and Muriel. So Just one thing to mention, Merrily and Muriel, they actually contribute high damage to this Ravaged run boss. So probably, honestly, I need to put Muriel up here. The reason I didn't put them up here is because technically they're not in the top team, but if you need to run them for whatever reason, like if you don't have Harok, if you don't have maybe Walker build, or you don't have Zany build, then these heroes do become in your top team for you. And they do contribute high damage. So like Merrily with her overloaded charms, those are considered the best right now. Refining them is gonna boost your damage output. Merrily is used in if you don't have Harok, you'll use an Atalanta Merrily team on team number 1 for Aurora squad. If you don't have Zany, you can even use Merrily on team number 2 with like Sinbad and do almost as much damage as a Zany Walker team. So Merrily can be in your top team. However, if you have other heroes built, you will not be you will not be using Merrily in your top team as of right now. So that is kind of the thing. That's why I had a lower position. But honestly, for the majority of players, I think some people quite a few are going to be using Merrily. Bonnie is in the Immortal Squad Ravaged run. She doesn't contribute much damage because she doesn't have true damage. She doesn't have HP loss damage. But eventually you want to refine your charms. And Muriel is kind of like that other option as a damage dealer for team number 2 of Aurora squad. If you don't have Zany, if you don't have Walker maybe, Muriel can just take that slot basically. So we can actually put Muriel up here. And as for charms, we're not sure about it right now. Like there's speculation acute charms are the best for her, the 2 swords basically. But we'll have to wait and see. And then you can decide to refine. For AFK stages, it's basically just the major damage dealers for AFK stages. Tassi Faramore, who you see a lot in AFK stages. I should probably put Saida even in front if you have Saida built. Yeah, Tassi Faramore is seen in a lot of AFK stages at this point in the season, towards the end of the season, where our levels are at really high 1200 level. So refine their charms, going to boost their stats, their attack. It'll make your life a bit easier. Saida blast charms and then refine them because she's using in these late AFK stages as well. Siren, he can be using some, especially because light bear faction talents are good this season for AFK stage pushing. And then you would want to refine it. And then Iron, his charms honestly, refining them won't make much of a difference because he's mainly a tank. He's not really going to be damaging the enemies, but I threw him in here just because, yeah, he could be a consideration for refining charms. Anyway, guys, that is basically going to be it. All the key heroes I wanted to put up here in the different tiers, in the different categories that you should be prioritizing in refining your charms. Now, as for the best in slot charm for these heroes, we talked about throughout this video, and you can follow that. However, there are still heroes which need more testing. For example, like we said, Muriel, Atalanta, we do not know what is the best in slot charm right now. I know Overloaded is good for Atalanta, and I know Acute is good for Muriel, but there hasn't been enough testing to decide, is Butcher better than Overloaded for Atalanta? Is a different option better than Acute for Muriel? Something like that. So before you waste your resources on refining, you need to make sure this is the best in slot charm, and that will only happen like 1 week or 10 days after, even on a global server, Ravaged has been out. So like maybe by 15th of September or something, that's like 10 days after, or more than 10 days after Ravaged has been out on global server, then we can make a definitive sort of guide on the best in slot charm for each single Ravaged hero. But until then, it's just kind of like we know what does well on these heroes from the VN server testing, but we do not know, is this actually the best? Is there anything that could give you like a bit of a score boost? We don't know about that yet. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. If you have any other tips, feel free to share them in the comment section down below. But thanks for watching, everyone. If you're not already a part of my Discord server, you can join that. There's a link to that in the description of this video where we talk about everything related to AFK Journey. Also, if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. There is a link to that in the description of this video and a pinned comment. There's the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.